Chapter 18: The Art of Heartbreak. Heartbreak. The term itself evokes an immediate, visceral reaction. It is one of the few universal human experiences that transcends culture, age, and circumstance. Whether it comes in the form of lost love, the death of a cherished person, the dissolution of a lifelong dream, or the fracture of a deep friendship, heartbreak is a force that reshapes us. It is a disorienting emotional rupture, forcing us to confront the most fragile parts of ourselves. Despite its painful nature, heartbreak is also an opportunity, a catalyst for growth, transformation, and self-discovery. It challenges us to redefine our understanding of love, attachment, and resilience. This chapter is not about avoiding heartbreak, such a goal would be futile, but about learning to navigate it with grace, understanding, and ultimately, wisdom. The psychology of heartbreak. Heartbreak is not merely an emotional state, it is a deeply neurological and physiological process. Studies in affective neuroscience have demonstrated that heartbreak activates the same brain regions associated with physical pain. In a groundbreaking study by Eisenberger et al., 2011, published in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, researchers found that experiencing social rejection or loss triggers the anterior cingulate cortex, the same region that processes physical pain. This finding underscores why heartbreak feels so acutely unbearable. It is not simply in our heads, but a real, measurable response in the brain. Additionally, heartbreak often triggers the body's stress response, leading to increased cortisol levels, disrupted sleep patterns, and even suppressed immune function. For those experiencing prolonged grief or heartbreak, the effects can manifest as chronic stress, anxiety, or depressive symptoms. Studies in clinical psychology have also highlighted the strong correlation between unresolved heartbreak and maladaptive coping behaviors, including substance abuse, withdrawal from social interactions, and difficulty forming new attachments. Understanding these biological underpinnings is important. It validates our pain and reminds us that healing requires both emotional and physiological self-care. The recognition that heartbreak is not merely emotional, but also biochemical, reinforces the need for self-compassion in the healing process. Fiona and Phil, a case study in emotional loss. Fiona was 23 when she met Phil. Having just endured the deaths of both her father and best friend within the same year, she was navigating an ocean of grief. Phil became her anchor, steady, kind, unwavering in his support. Their bond grew organically, and soon they were inseparable. Fiona believed she had found someone who understood her in a way no one else could. But love built in crisis does not always sustain itself in calm. As the years passed and Fiona's grief became more manageable, she started to feel a quiet discontentment growing inside her. It was not that Phil had changed. He was still the same devoted partner, but something was missing, something she could not name without feeling guilty for even acknowledging it. "I love him," she admitted one evening, "but I am not in love with him." This realization brought an unbearable weight. How do you walk away from someone who has only ever been good to you? How do you explain that love is not always enough? Fiona knew she had a difficult choice to make, not just for herself, but for Phil as well. Staying in a relationship where love felt like an obligation rather than a choice was not fair to either of them. The one who leaves versus the one who is left. There are two sides to every heartbreak, the one who leaves and the one who is left behind. The experiences are different, but the suffering is equally profound. The one who leaves. For those who make the decision to walk away, heartbreak is often accompanied by guilt. Society tends to cast the leaver as the villain, as if ending a relationship is an act of betrayal. But in truth, staying in a relationship that no longer serves either person is far more damaging in the long run. Psychologists refer to this as the sunk cost fallacy. The idea that we continue investing in something simply because we already have, despite knowing it is no longer the right choice, Many remain in relationships out of obligation, fearing the pain of breaking someone else's heart. But in doing so, they delay the inevitable, often causing greater harm down the line. Fiona had to recognize that leaving Phil was not a reflection of his shortcomings, but a necessary step for them both to find deeper fulfillment elsewhere. The one who is left. For Phil, the heartbreak was crushing. He had envisioned a lifetime with Fiona, had woven his identity around their relationship. Losing her was not just losing a partner, it was losing the future he had imagined. This is often the hardest part of heartbreak, not just mourning what was, but mourning what could have been. A study published in Psychological Science, 2017, found that people who experience breakups often struggle with a loss of self-concept. When we merge our identities with another person, their departure leaves us feeling fragmented, as though a piece of our very existence has been stripped away. Heartbreak beyond romantic love. While romantic heartbreak is the most commonly discussed, heartbreak extends beyond relationships. Losing a parent, a sibling, a close friend, or even a life dream carries similar emotional weight. Grief and the loss of a loved one. Losing someone to death carries a unique form of heartbreak. Unlike breakups where reconciliation remains a possibility, death offers no second chances. Psychologist George Bonanno's The Other Side of Sadness, 2009, challenges the notion that grief follows linear stages. Instead, he argues that grief fluctuates, allowing moments of joy even in the midst of sorrow. When we lose someone permanently, healing is not about moving on, but about learning to carry the loss with us in a way that honors their memory while allowing us to continue living fully. Therapy, rituals of remembrance, and grief support groups have been found to help individuals process loss in a way that fosters long-term emotional well-being. Healing from heartbreak, a roadmap. Healing from heartbreak, whether romantic, platonic, or grief-related, is not a passive process. It requires intentionality and self-compassion. Here are some key strategies. Allow yourself to grieve. Suppressing emotions prolongs the pain. Writing, therapy, or speaking openly with a trusted friend can aid in emotional release. Rebuild self-identity. Invest time in rediscovering yourself outside of the relationship or loss. Engage in meaningful activities. Research suggests that engaging in new hobbies or creative outlets can accelerate emotional recovery. Practice self-compassion. Understand that heartbreak is not a reflection of failure, but of being human. Seek professional help when needed. Therapy and counseling provide invaluable support for those struggling with persistent grief or depression. Final thoughts. The beauty in brokenness. Heartbreak does not signal the end of love. It signals its transformation. Every loss, every ending is a redirection, forcing us to grow in ways we never anticipated. If you are in the throes of heartbreak now, know this: you will not feel this way forever. The intensity will lessen, the wounds will scar over, and one day you will look back and see how this pain shaped you into a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Reflection. Questions. How do you process loss? Do you confront it head-on, or do you distract yourself from it? If you are grieving the loss of a person, a relationship, or a dream, what is one step you can take today toward healing? What lessons has heartbreak taught you about yourself? In what ways can you redefine love and connection beyond traditional notions of permanence? Heartbreak is inevitable, but so is healing. And if you allow it, the pain of today will become the wisdom of tomorrow.